أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين ثم الصلاة وتم التسليم على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين سيدنا ومولانا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مختمه الفداء أما بعد. We continue with our interactive lectures on how to strengthen our relation with our Imam alayhi salam and how to live with him during Al-Ghayb Al-Kubra. To start off, I request the dear brothers and sisters to log on to the first question. Okay. You can put up the first question, please. Yes. When did the major occultation start? 320 AH, 1918 AD after World War I, 327 AH, or 329 AH? 329 AH. 100% sure? Was it not 327? I mean, if we count the difference between Hijri months and solar months, 327 or 329? 27. Are you sure? It's 329. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. طيب. Yesterday we wanted to talk a bit about the advices that our 12th Imam alayhi salam immediately and directly gives us and how to live with him and what to do, what to carry out. General advices. Of course, to abide by our wajibat and to stay away from the muharramat, this is something that is basic. So this is something that is already mentioned by other Imams as well, and this is something that does not need direct emphasis. This is something basic. However, our Imam alayhi salam, he points out certain things that we should do. So first of all, righteousness. The Imam alayhi salam in a narration says, our 12th Imam says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you safe and us safe from temptations. May He grace us with certainty and keep us safe from a bad end. I have received word concerning a group of you who are starting to have doubts concerning their Imams. I was very grieved by that for you and not for us, because Allah is with us and we do not need anybody else. The truth is with us, so we will not become lonely if somebody leaves us. So first of all, we have the matter to pray for righteousness. Our Imam alayhi salam prays that may Allah Azza wa Jal keep us safe from these temptations. Secondly, to pray, our Imam alayhi salam, he prays for the hearts of Shias to come together. And this is a huge problem. Most of the communities that we go to as talaba, as mubalighin, we always find problems in the community. Fulan al-Fulan has a problem. Okay, sometimes when it is related to difference of opinion, it's okay. Difference of opinion is something that is something rich, enriches a community. However, sometimes it's just to put sticks in the bicycle wheel so that the second person can't go, to just spoil stuff. Our Shias alayhim assalam, our Shias, may Allah Azza wa Jalla grant them tawfiq to remain obedient to him, where should be one in heart, considering the oath that they have taken upon themselves. They should not be delayed. If they were to be one in heart, the Imam says, if we were to be one in heart, we will not be delayed with the blessings of meeting with the 12th Imam, of his reappearance, if our hearts had been one. And they would soon have had the happiness of seeing us whilst knowing us. So nothing is keeping us from them except that which Allah detests. So we as Shias, unfortunately, we are doing, sometimes we cause these problems. I've been to certain communities, and this is alhamdulillah, we don't find it between, and in not all communities, but certain communities, we find that some of the members of the community, they have their own mindset and their own way of thinking. Whatever the body and the committee of the masjid would do, they are not pleased at all. And they always find excuses. Even when someone will say, Salamu alaikum, no, there is something behind. Yani, there's something in your hand, that's why you're giving me your hand. Okay? To the extent that, unfortunately, in certain cities, I have seen that one community becomes divided into 2 and 3 centers. One community to 2 and 3 centers. This is the problem of oneness in heart. Our Imam alayhi salam, he continues, he calls us to return to what is right. Even if we are in a remote location far away from oppressors, we know of your affairs. Now the fact that Imam alayhi salam, he's saying that do that which is right. Like I was referring to the wajibat, also adding mustahabbat to that. Our Imam alayhi salam, he is aware of all of that which we do. According to certain narrations, every week twice, whatever our amal are, they are inspired to him and taken to him by the angels, or he has ilm al-ghayb, he can see even the time that we commit a sin. Our Imam alayhi salam is immediately aware. We know of your affairs, and nothing of what you do remains unknown to us, nor of the humiliation that has afflicted you from the time many of you have moved towards those things that the muttaqeen of previous times used to stay away from. I know of certain mu'mineen, unfortunately, when they help another or they give a loan to another person, they say, no, I want interest. Excuse me? Interest? Do you know that money that you take, interest? If you eat from that, you spend it, whatever flesh grows on you, you're going to take it with you to your grave. And then what strength will you have in front of Munkar and Nakir waiting for you to answer? You have haram meat on you. You will have haram meat and flesh on your body. What answer will you have? It's not that you've committed a mistake. Maybe it may only affect your soul, and maybe an istighfar will benefit you. No, it's not only that. It is in your flesh. Everything. The evidence will be incriminating. That is the softest way to put it. As if they do not know that we take care of their affairs and are not forgetful of you. Otherwise, calamities would have befallen you and your enemies would approach you. So fear Allah. Have taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Stay away from the muharramat, especially that which is related to transactions and muamalat and hurting others and oppressing others. Our Imam alayhi salam calls us to leave bad deeds, do that which brings you closer to our affection, and stay away from that which causes us dissatisfaction. I want to point out to this fact, and yesterday I was speaking to one of the mu'mineen and I mentioned this. Don't think that today you have a chance. Why? Because of the fact that the Imam, when he comes, his reappearance is going to be sudden. You will not have time to say, oh no, I have haram flesh, let me fast a few days, maybe this flesh goes away. The Imam is going to come, that's it. The good that you have done, it will be done. The bad that you have done, now you're going to face him with it. You have to be ready from the beginning. Work. Another matter is to seek guidance from ulama. Many of our communities, unfortunately, they may consider the alim to be an employee. So do this, don't do that. And however much the alim, the alim himself, he bears a lot of patience. 3 things on the day of Qiyamah will complain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A Quran put on a shelf and it has gathered dust. A mosque which is empty of people who pray in it. And an alim who people do not benefit from and may also cause him adiyya. Alim deen, the person who has sought knowledge of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, the sciences of Islam, how to guide people, what to guide them with. We need to seek their guidance. Shambanati. Emnati ke shambhatena lide Hajam panate shego hauza magyo. Nah. To study Hausa studies, my dear brothers and sisters, is a big challenge. It's a huge challenge. It is a big responsibility that comes with many troubles even as you study. So do not think that when you see somebody who studied years that no, he does not understand. Business and this word experience not the excuse me. He has worked on this path of righteousness and he took himself out from this situation and he went to the Hausa and he learned under our greatest scholars to whom our Imam alayhi salam, considering whom the Imam says, and look at this narration, considering those events that happen refer to those who narrate our narrations. In other words, this is actually a metaphor for ulama because they are my hujjah over you and I am the hujjah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over them. Whatever you want to plan, a new committee comes in our centers, whatever you want to do, seek guidance from the ulama. Seek guidance from them. Ask them. Ask the officers and the representatives of Amaraja. Seek their advice and then act upon that. Finally, a call to purify one's money that I was referring to before. The Imam alayhi salam says, as for your money, we shall not accept it except if you purify it. Your source of income, you have some maybe haram in it, but no, I'll be business smart. If I may commit one mistake or one guna, one sin in getting that money, but I will give it for sadaqah, so that's tenfold. I've got 9 thawab. No, our Imam alayhi salam says that we will not accept that money which is not purified, that you to have not paid the huquq shar'iyya for, zakat, khums, etc., that you have not given. So let those who will give, and those who don't want to give, not give. But we will only accept the money that is purified. Because Allah has given us and He has separated something for us which is better than what He has given you. As for those who have taken, and then there are certain people who may take control of huquq shar'iyya. My dear brothers and sisters, in the narrations, especially that which is related to money that has not been, whose khums has not been taken out, our Imams say that you are not allowed even to spend that money except after you have given our right. Let's say from 100 pounds, 20 pounds khums, you're not allowed even to spend the other 80 as long as you have not paid that 20 pounds khums. You're not allowed. It becomes suht, mal haram. Mal haram is a big thing, huquq al-nas, that we should fear. The greater occultation of the Imam. First of all, let us, if we can go to the second question kindly. Why did the Imam alayhi salam go into occultation? To create suspense, cliffhanger, so that people can remember him, to protect him. Suspense, cliffhanger, people can remember him or to protect him. It's not that people could remember him. Huh? Sorry? To protect him. 3 can't be correct, so that people can remember him. Actually, the opposite effect will also happen, because the narrations say that his occultation will go for such a long time that people will start to forget him. So for him to go into ghaiba so that people can remember him is actually doing the opposite thing. So no, it is one of the reasons is to protect him. It is narrated from the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Muhammad, who said that I swear by Allah, the Qa'im from my children will go into occultation until most people will say that Allah has no need for Ali Muhammad, and others will even doubt his birth. So he who lives in his time should hold on to their faith firmly and not let shaitan have control over them with the doubts that shaitan casts. Because surely shaitan casted out and led to the casting out of your father Adam and Hawa alayhim assalam from the Garden of Eve, from Jannah. Ghaiba, there's one thing that I want to just terminology to teach you. Al-ghaiba is opposed to dhuhur. Al-ghaiba is not opposed to hudur. Hudur means presence. Dhuhur means appearance. There's a difference. Al-ghaiba means for the Imam alayhi salam to go into occultation and for him not to be known. So the Imam walks amongst us. The opposite is for him to be zahir, for him to be apparent, known. The opposite of it is not hudur. Hudur means the Imam is not present at all. I don't know which particular village you will be staying in and just not mingling with people. That would be the opposite of hudur. That is not what is meant. What is meant that the Imam, he walks amongst us in his ghaibah. He walks amongst us, but he is not known. When he reappears, when we say reappear, it's not that he had been gone or invisible. No, he was amongst us. It's just that he did not tell us that I am the Imam. The Imam alayhi salam, as a proof of this, our Imam attends Hajj annually, correct? He attends Hajj annually. And I've heard many stories of the Imam alayhi salam meeting people. But do people know him? They don't know him, but they see him. Third, amongst the matters to take into consideration is that our Imam alayhi salam, that huzn and that grief we have for Imam Husayn alayhi salam, we should give aza and consolation to our 12th Imam for it. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Muhammad. During Muharram, when we have our majalis, we should also not only cry for our Imam Husayn alayhi salam, we should also turn to the Imam and console him for what his grandfather and his brothers and sisters and his uncles, all of them, they passed through, and his cousins, or his uncles to be more accurate, and his aunts, what they passed through. And he is the direct connection of Imam Husayn alayhi salam. So when we cry for Imam Husayn alayhi salam, we're trying to remind ourselves that, oh fulan, fulan, we say to ourselves, when the time of our 12th Imam comes, we should not do what the other people did and they left Imam Husayn alayhi salam. We have to be with our 12th Imam. From now we have to show him that we're ready, we're with you. Why did the Imam alayhi salam especially and only go into occultation for protection, even though other Imams alayhi salam, they were also the hujjah of Allah and they were also in danger? Can anyone think of an answer, please? Why is it that only the 12th Imam went into occultation? Huh? He's the last Imam. Is that all that is to that? Okay. Khair. Ahsantum. That's part of the answer. That's part of the answer. Our Imam alayhi salam, his message is as such. First of all, the security factor is that the Imam is the last infallible, like you mentioned. Secondly, he has to form the global divine government. This global divine government, it is the purpose for sending all of the ma'sumin before him. 124,000 prophets. Amongst them, 313 Rasul. Each of them has a Sharia. According to certain narrations, each 313, each one of them had 12 successors. Nabi Isa alayhi salam had his 12 disciples. Our Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi, he has the 12 Imams. So, at his hands, that promise, لِيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ, that promise that the religion of Allah, of Islam, it will be spread, and its value will be shown in front of all different schools of belief that this is the truth. This is going to be fulfilled at the hand of Imam al-Hujjah alayhi salam. As a result, he has to be kept safe. Secondly, to test and prepare the jeel or the generation of dhuhur. Inshallah, may Allah Azza wa Jal make us from those. Allahi Ameen. Allah wants to test the believers, and this can only be done through tough circumstances. Not only through simulation. Simulation is not going to be enough. With regards to pilots, they ask them how many flight hours experience do you have. Sometimes when they do go into some technical difficulties, they want to see that this guy, is he okay? Has he passed and has he solved any of these technical issues? Has he brought the plane back safe? Even if you may have spent 20,000 hours on simulation, flight simulations are not enough. So the same as with regards to that generation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to prepare it. Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. That this dhuhur will not happen until you are distinguished and tested. Until from every 10 of you will remain none except the rarest, al-andar. Then he recited the verse, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. أم حسبتم أن تدخلوا الجنة ولما يعلم الله الذين جاهدوا منكم ويعلم الصابرين. Do you think that you will enter Jannah before Allah Azza wa Jal has tested those who go to jihad and those who are patient amongst you? This is the third question. If we can go to it, please. The third question. This question I will ask the brothers to be a little bit attentive to. It's not really straightforward. How many helpers and supporters will the Imam alayhi salam have? 313,072.99. Okay. If you can vote, those can vote then, if possible. Okay. How does votes come? This is the correct answer. 313 will be the generals, the commanders of his global army. It will not only initially start with 313. No. These 313 will have under them armies that are ready. Thousands that are ready. And some among them may even be resurrected. Okay? So these 313, they will have armies under them. Shu'aib bin Saleh, Al-Yamani, Al-Khurasani, and others. They will have armies ready under them. Okay? So the actual answer then is thousands. According to certain narrations, Al-Khurasani himself will have at least 10,000 with him. The thing is, in the Arabic language, and I've actually I've written the answer as thousands. The Arabic language itself, during that olden time, there was no word such as million in it. So when they wanted to say thousands, our Imams said alaful alaf or alafun mu'allafa. Okay? The narrations, they say thousands. But what I believe is that, considering that all of the Shias are there, and even others, non-Shias maybe, they will also help the Imam, his supporters will be inshallah in the millions, if you take all of these different armies into consideration. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us among them. Ameen. Another reason for al-ghaiba is the fact that there is insufficiency in number of helpers. The insufficient numbers of helpers is not only related to the 313, it's also related to the others as well. So the problem is of quantity and of quality. There is unsuitability in terms of ikhlas and towards the goals of Islam. Tabiyu fulan al-fulani. Let's say, for example, there is a nice project that is carried out for the community, whatever it may be, or anything suitable, anything beneficial is carried out. What problem would you have in the nafs? I'm not talking about any person particular, but in general. What problem would you have in your heart that you will try to put obstacles in front of a good thing happening? If you truly have a different opinion, show it and talk and dialogue and discuss. But to go from behind and to cause problems and troubles, this is the problem that you will be actually causing. There would not be any sincerity. Again, for people not to have enough knowledge, this is another thing, and the necessary experience for the final decisive movement of the Imam against disbelief, and not having that awareness concerning the plots of Sharia and how to face them. Unfortunately, certain parts and certain areas in the Muslim countries, at least, there is something that is called soft war, correct? Through globalization, that the entire world has become one country, one small village. Type. Soft war through television, through social media, etc., etc. So this needs to be addressed. Some people, they just go on whatever comes. But do I will share like? When you don't have this awareness, maybe you're even causing harm. But in the end, do you think that this is what the Imam is in need of? The Imam is facing people far smarter than me and you then. We have to seek that awareness. I will try to, inshallah, tomorrow with regards to awareness, inshallah, explain a little bit more. I kindly request for the video to be put on. To send today's session with this video, that again will remind us of our Imam alayhi salam.
به طه به یاسین به معراج احمد به قدر و به کوثر به رضوان و طوبی به وحی الهی به قرآن جاری به تورات موسی و انجیل عیسی بسی پادشاهی کنم در گدایی چو باشم گدای گدایان زهرا چه شبها که زهرا دعا کرده تا ما همه شیعه گردیم و بیتاب مولا غلامی این خانواده دلیل و مراد خدا بوده از خلقت ما مسیرت مشخص امیرت مشخص مکن دل ای دل بزن دل به دریا که دنیا به خسران عقبی نیرزد به دوریز اولاد زهرا نیرزد و این زندگانی فانی جوانی خوشیهای امروز و اینجا به افسوس بسیار فردا نیرزد اگر عاشقانه هوادار یاری اگر مخلصانه گرفتار یاری اگر آبرو می‌گذاری به پایش یقینا خریدار یاری بگو چند جمعه گذشتی ز خوابت چه اندازه در ندبه ها زاریاری به شانه کشیدی غم سینه اش را و یا چون بقیه تو سربار یاری اگر یک نفر را به او وصل کردی برای سپاهش تو سردار یاری به گریه شبی را سحر کردی یا نه چه مقدار بیتاب و بیمار یاری دل آشفته بودن دلیل کمی نیست اگر بیقراری بدان یار یاری و پایان این بیقراری بهشت است بهشتی که سرخوش ز دیدار یاری نسیم کرامت وزیدن گرفته و باران رحمت چکیدن گرفته مبادا بدوزی نگاه دلت را به مردم که بازار یوسف فروشی در این دوره بد شدیدن گرفته خدایا به روی درخشان مهدی به زلف سیاه و پریشان مهدی به قلب رؤوفش که دریای داغ است به چشمان از غصه گریان مهدی به لبهای گرم علی یا علیش به ذکر حسین و حسن جان مهدی به دست کریم و نگاه رحیمش به چشم امید فقیران مهدی به حال نیاز و قنوت نمازش به سبحان 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 مهدی به برق نگاه و به خال سیاهش، به عطر ملیح گریبان مهدی، به حج جمیلش، به جاه جلیلش، به صوت حجازی قرآن مهدی، به صبح عراق و شبانگاه شامش، به آهنگ سمت خراسان مهدی، به جان داده های مسیر عبورش، به شهد شهود شهیدان مهدی، مرا دائم الاشتیاقش بگردان، مرا سینه چاک فراقش بگردان، تفضل بفرما بر این بنده بی سر و پا، مرا همدم و محرم و همرکاب سفرهای سوی خراسان و شام و عراقش بگردان. یا مهدی، یا مهدی، مددی.
أحسنتم. صلى الله على محمد وعلى محمد. اللهم صل على
Today's iftar has been sponsored for the Isar Asab of Marhum Fidaus and Merali Urjani. Request to recite Surah Fatiha for Marhum and all Marhumin Al-Fatiha. There is also a request for parents to please keep their children with them during Salah time. We have had instances where children are playing football outside, and we have had instances with cars have been damaged. So please keep your children with yourselves during Salah time. Thanks.